We'll get a few questions to get through. This is good. Hey guys, AMAs seems like it's a good idea. I think it's got some legs. I'm just going to get straight into it. We'll answer questions because who wants to hear me talk? Brian Munro replied, left a comment partially replying for the answer I gave him, and also saying he's loving the content and final inspection products since 2007. You've got me into detailing and I missed the detail addiction forum. Thanks for being a customer that long. Got you into detailing. That's good. Professional detailing? You're a professional detailer? Because if you are... And I missed the detail addiction forum too, mate. That was a really nice place. We had to shut it down. I should explain. I'll explain. This is long form discussion. This is where I do stuff like this. Detail addiction came about because back in, let me go all the way back to Adam and Eve like I do with my stories. Again, old man. In the late 90s, about 2000, I discovered forums. I knew they existed, but I was full on into them. If whatever it was, if it was for a car, I was on a car forum. And if it was for a watch, I was on a watch forum. And they were everywhere. And this is before Facebook groups and things like that. They're still around, but I found that they've died off. Anyway, keep going off track. I wanted one of my own, and I spoke to someone who was creating one, so I thought, well, he's doing that, so let him do that forum. And I became a member of that forum. I think I was the 5th or 6th or 7th or 10th or whatever, but that forum's got thousands and thousands of members now, and I was there early on, and I was the biggest poster for a couple of years. I just spent too much time on it, and something happened, and I just wasn't happy with what I could and couldn't say. I was being moderated, and I didn't like that, and I thought, I'm going to go and do my own thing. And at the time, I was travelling from Melbourne to Sydney. This is still in the early days where I didn't have enough work in Melbourne, and I would drive to Sydney. And one day I stayed with a lovely, lovely man who ran the Oz Mazda Club, OMC we used to call it. And he allowed me to stay at his home. He'd never met me before. These are the good old days of the internet when most people were really, really nice. And I stayed at his home, and he was into tech. I can't remember exactly what he did. I know he worked for the government doing some kind of IT-related stuff. And we were having this chat one day. We were just having a nice chat and having a beer or something. And I said, I'd really love to, start on my own forum, and I understand where to buy the software from and everything, but I can't code and I can't do any of that. And it's just too big a deal, but I'm really not happy with, I think things can be better. And he said, I can do that for you. And he opened up his laptop, and long story short, within a few hours we had detail addiction. I sent it to a few friends and said, what do you think? And they said, this is amazing, this is going to be great, and what can we do? And I said, pretty much everything, as long as it's detailing related, and as long as it's final inspection based. So final inspection will pay for this forum, and it's there to serve final inspection customers and talk about final inspection products, but apart from that, anything goes. And I'm not saying that the other forum I came from was bad. All I'm saying is that I didn't like it, so I went to create my own. This created a bit of fuss because the owner of that forum, who I maintain is a nice guy, but got pretty upset, rightly so, and called me, and then had some words to say. And then I was like, okay, well, I wasn't going to, there wasn't going to be any trouble, but that was the wrong way to handle that. And if you're going to be that way, let's do it. And we went full pelt, 33,000 members in a couple of years, by far and away, much bigger than that other forum. Not that makes it better in any way, but that's how big the forum got and how popular it was. Most of the regulars, which you'll know if you're on the Detail Addiction forum, were there every day, multiple times a day, lived on that forum, and it was a great place. I loved it. It was like home. You'd come, I'd finish my job at the end of the day, I'd log in and I'd read everyone's, find out what everyone was up to, and read the posts, and then I'd post my work from the day, and everyone would chat about it. And at that stage, the work was getting better, and I was really finding my groove, and people could see that, so it was interesting. And there was just a lot going on apart from what I was doing. The people on there were amazing. I have 3 really good friends now that I talk to almost every day, and they're all from that forum. I met them on the Detail Addiction forums, and I've seen them get married and have kids, and it was fantastic. So when I said I miss that place too, for those reasons and many more, I really, really do. It was wonderful. Unfortunately, things got off track. A couple of the moderators said that they would like more off-topic sections and things like that, and I warned them. I said this can get out of hand, and provided you're going to moderate them, which is a huge job. You've got full-time jobs. I don't know how you're going to do this. Let's do that. It did get out of hand. The forum was a massive place. It was very, very different after 5 or 6 years than it initially was. It was being hacked time and time again. I was spending a lot of money. Marco was spending a lot of time fixing things, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I announced that we would close it in a few months, and I think it took about 12 months from then on. And no matter what I do or how I try to tell people that that the time has come to move away from a forum, a company like a small family business like ours couldn't afford to keep doing this and keep this forum alive. Basically, it brought no revenue, and I think there was a value add, and customers liked it, but we really couldn't justify all the time, effort, and money that went into keeping it running. And Marco and a few other people who I won't mention said to me, you got to give it up. It's time. And there's Facebook groups and things, and their software is far more robust and has far more functionality. We'll ask everyone to go on there, and we tried, and everyone refused. They wanted to. I think there was a Occupy Detail Addiction thread or movement on there. They really made it difficult, and I was saddened that they couldn't see my point of view, and perhaps I didn't communicate that properly. But anyway, that's how the closure came about. And I really miss it. And I think about starting one up again, and then I sleep on it in the morning. I think, what a bad idea that is. That would be silly. I don't need more things to do. Also, we lost. You need moderators. I need to rely on people, and we had people like if you're on the forum, you would remember Candy, or the Candy Man. He was loved and hated because he was very strict, and perhaps he wasn't fair, but this is a human. He's doing a job for free out of the love of that place, and his life changed, and we lost him. We lost Andy, one of the other moderators, who would moderate all the off-topic stuff. So I was doing it on my own, and that was just, it was huge. That took a lot of time that was better spent doing other things. So yeah, missed the place, but I hope you understand, and I hope it helps other people to understand the ride that was, and how it ended up closed. This is not so much of a question, but just a comment. Love the vlogs and the AMA. Thanks for the feedback, Lorenzo. Hope you're 100%, although you're 100% right with your self-analysis. I shouldn't have. Yeah, thanks, mate. No, I appreciate it. I understand, and thank you for trying to make me feel better. I appreciate it. Anyway, keep the videos coming. Great, good feedback. Love your work, love the products. Best in the market. Absolutely. There's no question about that, of course. Thank you, Lorenzo. You're always too kind to me. Alex, really enjoying all the recent videos you've put out. You're spot on about the keyboard warriors. It's a difficult reality we all now live in, especially difficult for the younger generation. Reminds myself to not take the internet comments personal. Yeah, it's important, and we just got to keep pleading with some people to be better humans, I guess. And I'm not saying that I didn't make mistakes on the internet, but if we could make it a better place, it would be good. I've got a couple of questions for you. Let's get into it. Could you please jog our memory around ceramic protection versus FMJPP? Awesome, good question. I remember you touched on this a while back, although it seems ceramic protection is being heavily marketed. My second question, let's do the first one first. So ceramic coating. Ceramic is just a marketing term as far as I can tell. Ceramic doesn't refer to any one or a bunch of different products, type of products, the chemistry of a product. It's for me, and I would love someone to correct me on this, but for me, ceramic, that term, is the analogy I like to use with my customers. You may have heard this if you're listening to this, is like turbo on a vacuum cleaner. It means absolutely nothing except to make you think something. It's getting a sense of something across. A ceramic sounds hard and like it would provide good protection, but we've bought plenty of ceramic products from our competitors. What I do every week is buy at least one product every week from a manufacturer and try it just to see what they're doing and they're up to and how good it is. And usually it's rubbish, and we throw it out. And sometimes we think, oh, this company's onto something, or this is neat, or this is pretty close to one of our products, or better, has some better characteristics, and we should make our product work like that. And we have bought Upteen ceramic paint protection products and ceramic coatings, and they all vary so much. They can be all different types of chemistry. They can vary from a real $1 to $100 in actual cost, real cost. By real cost, I mean there are a lot of paint protections on the market that cost $1 per vial per application to manufacture, and they're sold for $100 or $200, and some have sold for $10. The same product that is sold for $10 is also sold for $100 under different brands. You have to be careful, I guess, to make sure. Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter if something costs 5 cents to manufacture and they're selling it for $1,000. If you really love that product and you see value in it, that's great. But I think it's just confusing for the consumer. There's a lot of things about the detailing industry that are confusing, but it's really confusing for the consumer to have these products, the same products under multiple brands at very, very, very different price points. Kind of angers me a little bit, but that's business. A business can charge whatever they like, and it's up to you to see value in it and justify the purchase. You should be doing a little bit of research. But really, really great question. Ceramic, to me, and I've never had anyone being able to explain it to me, is a pure marketing term. Nothing wrong with that, but I just don't like it and I don't use it, so you won't see us calling our full metal jacket paint protection or our new car protection services ceramic coating. My second question: how can you and your customers get more people interested in the videos you produce? I genuinely believe there is an incredible amount of information in your videos which would do well to educate, inform, and assist many car enthusiasts. I've certainly learned most of my detailing knowledge from watching them all. This one's a big one. This one's something I struggle with. I'm good at most things that I do at work, except I'm horrible at doing this. I can't make popular videos. I've tried everything. I'm still trying. This is a new idea, and for some reason I'm a great detailer, and I can do multiple different things. I can making these videos on my own, and I think they're produced fairly well. I'm good at that, I think. But making something that is popular is something I've failed at many, many times over, and I'm still trying to grasp. I think I know what the key is, and I just don't want to believe it. So I have had some YouTubers, successful YouTubers, as customers, and they have given me probably good advice that I probably should have taken. One guy said to me, that recent video you put up, that's actually really good. You'll get 100 times as many viewers, I guarantee it. All you have to do is change a thumbnail. I said, great, okay, what do you think I should do? And he said, I'll do it for you. I'll make the thumbnail for you and I'll email it to you. And he did. And I hated it so much that I couldn't bear to replace it. I thanked him for his time, even sent him a little gift, but I could not, for the life of me, change the thumbnail to what he did. He had some fake arms come in the screen, and I had to clasp my head. My head was all red. He'd photoshopped it red, like I was in such frustration. I was going to melt down. And then he had some products in the kind of floating in the air, and it just reeked of that clickbait that you see. And I respect him. He's much more successful at the thing I want to be successful at, so I should be listening to him. And I believe that he's right when he says I should do things like that. However, I just have this thing, and it's probably wrong, but I just have this thing where I feel it's disrespectful to my customers and my viewers, my audience, to change the titles and the thumbnails of my videos to incorporate what I see as nonsense. I'm trying not to be disrespectful to him. I just believe I don't click on those things, and I hate those types of videos. As soon as I see a thumbnail like that, I just scroll past. I'm not interested. But perhaps that's a sign of me. Not perhaps, I'm sure it's a sign of me not understanding my audience, and I should suck it up and make more clickbaity titles and thumbnails that would attract more audiences. I did take a couple of things, and I did actually adjust a couple of thumbnails. There's the washing video, how to wash from a master detailer. That's not my text. I don't walk around saying I'll show you how to wash. I'm a master detailer. That's such an arrogant thing to say. I don't think it's wrong. I'm a master by definition, and I'm good at what I do, and there's nothing wrong with that title, so I that one went in, but that's not my title. But guess what? That worked. That was one of the more popular videos, and when that thumbnail was changed, because it wasn't that thumbnail initially, the first few days it was not that thumbnail, and as soon as that thumbnail was changed, bang, thousands of viewers, not hundreds of viewers. So it really does work. I'm trying to find a way to make videos where I don't have to use those thumbnails. And as you said, I think that we can inform and educate people. These AMA videos, I don't think we've spoken about final inspection product yet. And in the last few videos before that, the Venturi vacuum and things, we don't mention any final inspection product. I'm not even doing product placement, which again is wrong. But they're really not for that so much. They're more just free advice, general advice, not pushing my products too much, to better educate the customer. And I think if a customer is better educated, more informed, like you guys in Detail Addiction were, you kept me honest, because you knew what you were talking about. And the reason you knew what you were talking about was because you were listening to me tell you what to look out for and all the shortcuts. That made my job really difficult. I could not cut any corners because you guys would keep me honest. You'd know what to look out for, and you'd catch me out if I did any of the things that I told you to look out for. But I think that makes the industry better. Makes a career detailers like me have more customers and more loyal customers, and it helps consumers have better detailers. If the detailers are allowed to get away with junk, then the consumers unfortunately just have a lot of junk to choose from. And I get a lot of that often when people call me and how much is a cut and polish, and I know straight away that they're not one of my customers, and they're probably not going to be a customer. They're looking for a price, the lowest price. The service they want is prioritized by that price, the lowest price. My point is, you can still maintain that. You can have people that do those cheap details, but it's very, very difficult to understand the difference between the good and bad details. If you have a more informed, more educated consumer, then you will have more clarification in the levels. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but I think you know where I'm getting to. Next question. Deck 540, BMW owner maybe. Apologies, I don't know who is using this username. I'm guessing it's one of our customers, so I apologize. I find whenever I have a coating on my windscreen, my wipers skip. I've tried new wipers, and he's obviously got that thing. Any suggestions? And I gave him some suggestions. I said it's usually resolved for us with the wipers. So generally when wipers skip across the screen, if you replace the wipers, the blades, usually resolves that, as I said. Sometimes it's the fact that the coating is only applied above the wipers. So the wipers start on a section of the screen with a certain amount of drag, then hit the smooth coated area, and once one is encountering less drag than the other. So one wiper blade is on a surface, is started on a surface that's smoother than the other. The other's got drag, and that starts the skipping. And I've said if you can put the wipers into the transport position and lift them up out of the way so you can access more of the screen and get underneath. You can clean, prepare and apply the coating to the section, to the glass that's underneath and beyond where the wipers sit. Then you have a much higher chance of resolving that skipping issue. Very rarely, but once we tried everything and it turned out to be the arms themselves. Once they were replaced, everything was fine. You had a customer, I forgot his name now, but he had a C-Class, and he bought it brand new, and we just couldn't resolve this issue. I did everything that I'd explained that we normally do, and I said, go back to the dealer, and I think it's the wiper blades, get them replaced, which he did. Then they were really good, and they replaced the wiper arms. They took arms off another car. They must have thought that this might be the issue, and they were right. They replaced the wiper arms. They took them off another car, put them on his car, resolved. That's the first time. I mean, this issue has happened 1,000 times, but that's the one and only time that replacing the arms must have been bent or something. They weren't doing their job properly, but very rare that's going to be the case. And look, someone else has replied to him, which is really nice to see. And Deck 540 has, that's a very, very nice reply to us, saying thank you, appreciate it. Try putting the coating on the wipers. Have had some success with this. I might do that. I might try it. I don't see why it would work. I don't think the coating would stick to the blade because it's so, especially silicon dioxide coatings, which are usually the coating called ceramic, would not stick. They're very brittle and hard. I don't think they'd stick to the rubber. Next question was it was more of a topic that a customer had suggested. It was something that I've been talking to people about individually, and I didn't make public, and I've decided that I should, because I think it'll be more beneficial. Let me just get into it so you can understand what I'm getting to. I, a little while ago, had a medical issue, which I mentioned once on Facebook, and I wasn't very detailed about. But I had an issue occur where I collapsed in front of a customer. I collapsed. I just succumbed to stress or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. I was talking to a customer. Braden, poor guy. Sorry, Braden. And all of a sudden, it was lights out, and I did some damage. I broke my face open. Reception downstairs looked like a crime scene. It was really not nice. I feel so bad for poor Braden. Long time customer had to see that. That's really nasty. I've learned. I'm almost certain what the problem is. It was mentioned to me by a doctor. I have all the symptoms of this disease. I have to get checked so they can confirm it is what it is. But with COVID and things, I don't want to just do that to the hospital system. I can do this later on. The disease, if I do have it, can't be cured anyway, and it's really not that big a deal. I've got customers with far worse issues than what I have, and they live through it, so I can man up and get through this. Also, what I have is easy to live with. I know when I'm going to have an issue. I have plenty of time. I have about 30 seconds warning time, so I can get myself safe to a safe position, and I don't do any damage. What this has done, though, is left me with the issue of doing the job that I do, which is kind of physical. I spend a lot of hours at work. I spend most hours at work on my own. Not being supervised when you've got this is not a real good thing. So I'd like to do something where I can probably be with my wife, who spends a lot of time at final inspection. That's her job, is bookkeeping for final inspection. She also downloads your orders and packs and sends your orders and does a lot of those things. So that would be great. So my point is moving away from, or making a plan to move away from detailing full time, which means the sale of the detailing services business, the Detail Stig. Now, to do that, I thought I've got enough time. I really do have years to do this. So I could probably keep providing detailing services for a couple of decades. But ideally, in the next few years, I would like to slowly remove myself from that, and I'd like to see what I call, or we've started to call, candidates or someone move in that is the best candidate, that is the right person for our customers. A couple of customers, or few of our customers, about half a dozen of our customers know what's happening, our best customers, and they have told me, they've asked me, please find the right person. If we can't come to you in a few years' time for detailing, we would like someone just like you. So we thought, who should this person be? Ideally, I'd like someone youngish, in their 20s, but not too young, not too immature. There's plenty of young guys that are very mature and more than good enough to do this job. People who can handle all the cars that come through here. So you have to be, for instance, one candidate said, I don't drive manual and I never want to learn it and I can't drive it. And I said, that's going to be a problem as a detailer on your own working here. We do classic cars and some of them are difficult to drive manual. So I think that's going to be an issue. There are also a couple of other issues, but that would be a problem. It needs to be someone with a good head on his shoulders. This is a difficult job. My customers are difficult. Like we said before, my customers know what they're talking about and you can't cut any corners. You need to be able to answer all their questions and you need to be able to do a job properly because they will catch you out if it's not. So someone that is the right person for the job. I'd like ideally someone with some detailing background, but not too much. I don't want any bad habits. I would like to train someone how to replace me. That would be ideal, I think, but that's not necessary. It can be someone that's been doing detailing for a long time. Might be a good thing, and would have to learn what my particular customers like, which isn't a big deal. And so there's an opportunity here for someone to run a business that's 25 years old, that has a bunch of good customers, that has a great reputation, and I don't want to see that go to the wrong person. I don't want to see I don't think I could stand to see someone take my baby and destroy it. If you've ever sold a car that you love to someone, you will know the feeling when that car goes into the good hands, and someone's going to take care of it. Even though you've sold it and you've got the money, it's no longer your property. There's just sometimes you just have to. That thing needs to go to a good home, and the detail Stig needs to go to a good home. And I don't care how long it takes. If it takes a year or 10, it has to go to the right person. If I don't find the right person, I'll just close the doors and that will be it, or I'll do whatever I have to do to make sure I can to keep the amount of work that I have down as far as possible. But that's the that topic I thought was he was the customer who said you should bring this up. He was right. We should finally make this public. We can reach more people this way instead of me quietly trying to find candidates. This is a better way to find candidates. So if you're interested in taking over what I do for my day job, the Detail Stig, providing detailing services, working out of the clean room and doing what I do. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in doing that, you can see yourself in that role and you want to run a detailing business, but you don't want to start it from scratch. You want something with a great name and lots of goodwill and history. Let us know, and we should talk. All right. Thanks for watching. I thought that was a good episode. Hope you did too. If you like it, or you like parts of it, tell me what you do like, what you don't like, etc., so we can continue to mold this thing into something that is regular and just nothing 100% of what you want and none of the bad stuff. If I trail on about some subjects, let me know. If you don't like me talking about or elaborating too much, let me know. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Good night.